Hello. Hope everyone's okay. Um, my mum wasn't very well today, so she's disabled and in a wheelchair. Makes it difficult for me to leave her. But I was thinking of everybody. And it seems to me that the High Court actually, on this one to do with Sarah, and obviously my thoughts go out to her family. I've been praying all day. The High Court themselves actually said that they couldn't really say either way because the guidelines weren't very clear, and that it was down to the police to decide. And the police said no, this vigil. And like absolute warriors, they went ahead anyway. But the thing is, and then there's obviously some chaos that's occurred, which is sad, but it would have never happened had they have just said yes. Because Reclaim These Streets, who were organising it, had everything all in place. All they had to do was say, because it's not against the law, High Court didn't say it was. So why they say no then? And particularly when it's allegedly a policeman that's done it, you'd have thought that they, as I said the other day, they should be there standing with them, not against them. They've just made a mess for themselves. And had they just said yes, that all of the safety stuff that would have been that was organised would have been in place as well. So the stewards and the high vis and the masks and obviously most people went with masks anyways, but that was already in place. So it just doesn't make any sense. And they've done themselves no favours whatsoever, because you think that people are going to be trusting the police now after they've just gone and treated a load of mourners like that. One of the MPs I've heard has just said that the commissioner should resign. Yeah, she should. That's a bad decision. It's a really bad decision. And it didn't have to be that way. And I've been looking up domestic violence legislation around the world. Needless to say, it's all shit. And however, I have found some reports with suggestions, primarily by solicitors that deal with this, generally women, with suggestions on amendments that could be made, or new laws that could be made. So I'm going to put in the links in the description, like always. And I was thinking, Sarah's law. We could use all the suggestions, and that would be something in her memory. That would be something for her family. And I wanted to tell you some stories, because I don't think people really realise the extent of this kind of shit. And they watched this clip of this girl, and she was a student. She was on a ground floor flat, and she woke up, or she either woke up or was in her room, and she looked out her window, and there was a guy stood at her window looking in for ages, just staring at her through a window. She was scared. And when her housemate comes back, there's a used fucking condom on the floor by her window. This is the kind of shit we've got to deal with. I've got one for you. Where I live, there's a large contingent of young, say, 18, or actually not anymore because I've moved out with it. But there is a large group of sort of 18 to 25-year-olds. And let me tell you, yeah, and this is a massive fucking problem. Let me tell you. They sit around, yeah, and the way that they talk about women that they sleep with, well, first of all, they think that just on the Tinder, yeah, meeting up with people on Tinder. You should hear the way that they talk about them on the other side of it. Listen. The way that they talk about these girls. And the worst thing is the girls probably thinking, oh, they really likes me. Right? And on the other hand, they're sitting around a table at a pub and they will go, oh, you see the one on my Tinder, look at these messages. And they're showing the messages in the chat around like the big I am. Right? Even worse than that is afterwards, they'll come back to the same location with all their mates. Even worse, they've got a group, a WhatsApp group of like 20 odd of them. And they take photos without the girls knowing when they're with them for these one night stands, doing whatever they've fucking got them to do. And then they'll put that in their WhatsApp chat. They'll put it in their WhatsApp chat and send it round. Be like, hey, look what I got her to do. That. So it is a massive fucking problem. And let me tell you another story. This is just from my experience. The person, the devil incarnate that I was with, he at one point, he was absolutely, okay, I'm just going to be completely honest, because you need to be completely honest about these things, because this is how bad it is. He basically was like, oh, you know, I really want a threesome or whatever, right? I'm not interested in that shit. Right? Been there, done that when I was at uni, and it was not for me. Just gonna be honest. And I was at a point in my life where I was like, no, I just want to be one person. You know what I mean? That's I explained to you before. Like, I'm just one person. Like, that was when I was single. That other instance. So. Anyway, so they beat you down, And he was like, oh yeah, I really want a threesome. I was like, no. And he was like, oh, well, let me just join all these sites then so that, you know, we can chat. It's just fun. And I'm like, I've got no interest whatsoever in doing that. But he did it anyway. And then what he would do is he would sit there all day and night on these sex chat sites in front of my fucking face. They just break you down, make you feel like you're nothing. Absolute shit on the bottom of their shoe. That is what they make you feel like. So there's that. And there's this whole thing about porn as well. It just really, who monitors it? Who regulates it? Have you seen the way that women get treated on that? I know, because I was subject to 7 years of having to watch porn all the time. Well, not have to watch it, but he would just put it on all the time. I'm like, why? Do you know what I mean? I'm a porn star anyway, just joking. But you know what I mean? Like, what the way that they get treated, some of the stuff that is on there is absolutely grim. It's actually grim. The way that women are portrayed. The things that it's like, and there's a generation, an entire generation of men that are watching that shit and ultimately then treating their, like, it's a problem. It's a straight problem. Like, I don't even know. Something needs to be done about that. So it needs to be regulated. People need to get off it. Like, there's nothing wrong, but you know what I mean? Like, come now. Some of it is grim, proper. Like, how it needs to be regulated. Let's just put it that way, because there's shit on there that should not be made. And these women, how are they treated? I bet you the vast percentage of women that are on these videos are not treated well, versus the couple that come out and be like, oh yeah, I love porn. Really? Do you though? This is, I was going to say the other thing, for example, on my anniversary, it was supposed to be a 5-year anniversary, yeah? Where do you take me? He took me to a strip club. I went outside for a cigarette, come back in, he's getting a lap dance. Yeah? And then later that night, he threw me around the room, ripped earrings out of my ears, ripped the jacket as I was trying to run out of the room. This is real. It's happening to people every fucking day. Women, we just need to kick and scream about this kind of shit. Can't be afraid about saying it now. You've got to be like, no, I ain't having it anymore. I mean, there is a difference, don't get me wrong, between people that just have a little fight or whatever. And everyone's got issues. But it is not down for us to fix their issues. It ain't. We've got our own fucking issues. Everyone's got issues. You've got to be strong. Got to be so strong. Yeah, because we've got to talk about it. We've got to keep talking about it. We've got to say it. We've got to stick together. Sisterhood, man. Enough. We've got to teach our kids better as well. They were saying, obviously, you need to teach. I was watching them. the thing on the the news. And they were saying about teaching at school. Yeah, I mean, like teaching people how to like respect personal space. And the other thought I had was, here's another good one. We should bring back national service. Like, you have to do a year in the army or RAF or a navy. That'll teach the kids, doesn't it? That'll teach them discipline and respect. Should be part of their schooling, as well as a year in service for like a charity helping people, so they understand the value of everything and are grateful. Might just give them a bit of perspective. But I think they should do. If I'd have loved that. I did a gap year of working abroad in Africa, and I loved that. I did it for charity. While everyone else was doing what they were told to do. I was the rebel from my convent. Of course I was. But I mean, it just taught me so much about life, about, just so much. And it's unfortunate, but we have they just don't have any perspective. And these kids with the WhatsApp, and it's deadly serious. I've seen the chat. They've shown me the chat. I'm like one of the guys. And I wish I hadn't, because it is grim. The way that they talk about these girls, the photos and stuff that they take without their knowledge and they share on it. This is real talk. Yeah, so you think you're going on a nice date at Tinder or whatever you want to call it. Tinder, plenty of fish, yeah. Mate. No. Here's the thing. Don't even bother. Yeah. Think about yourself, ladies. Think about yourselves. Do what you want to do. Your life, your goal, your purpose, your meaning, your quest, your whatever you want to call it. Your dream. Dream big. Go for that. Focus on that. And then somebody that is worthy will find you, ultimately. But you don't want to be wasting your time on these. Yeah, make friends with Love Honey. Yeah, that will see you through. Seriously, it's not worth your time, and it's also not worth. Then, because we all do it, and I've done it. You know, when I've liked someone, you've done a photo and you sent photos, and then you're like, afterwards you're thinking, oh no, why did I do that? Like they've got, whoa, my God, who are they sharing that with? Straight facts. You know that they're sharing it with all of their guy friends. And it's only because I couldn't believe it. I was like, I'm a mum. Like, my God, if my sons did that, I think I would. I don't know, but I'd lose it. Hopefully they'll never get to that point because they know I'll go Garrett at them. But they are there. They are doing it. This is even that. Just think. We've got to think more like men. And I know it sounds crazy. You just got to preempt this shit. Be like, nah, nah, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm not even putting myself in the situation. I'm not even going to go there. No. Do yourselves a favor, like seriously, when it comes to these kind of things. You just don't want to give them no ammo. And also make sure everyone should get, they should bring in self-defense. Everyone should be taught self-defense training, like, or karate or something at school like that. And it's sad that we have to live in a world but that's just how it is right now. I would love to click our fingers and go, oh no, but it's just not. It's better to be prepared. Shouldn't be, but the numbers speak for themselves. And that give you confidence as well. You know you're prepared for any situation. Like, and you could lay someone out with a finger. But you've got to just get strong, real strong. I've got some, I'll put some links into some positive affirmations, some stoicism, like confidence, believe in yourself. Get the journals out, girls. Write your dreams. And just focus on that. Focus on that. Everything else will fall into place, I promise you. And what was the other thing? Oh, long COVID. So there was a family that came on and they were talking about how 3 of their children have got long COVID. Well, I've researched it and I've got some solutions. So these are doctors that have done from around the world that have done some studies with really good results for long COVID using a combination of different natural supplements, and they've got all the results in the videos. So I'll put them in. So hopefully that can nip that, or try and help with that wherever you are in your world if you're suffering from long COVID. It's worth a go, isn't it? What else was I going to say? Oh yeah. If this whole system is easy to disassemble number 5. It's dead easy. Yeah. And the way that you do it, the way that we do it, customer is king, right? We have the power. And we have the power because it's our money. We choose what we buy. We choose where we work. Yeah, we choose what we invest in. So here's the thing. If we want a better, if we want to tackle, because it is down to each and every one of us, as much as we might like to be selfish and think, oh no, I can't be bothered and it's not down to me, it is. That's the thing. We're at a point, we're at a crux, we're at a shift where we have to realize that every action that we take has consequences, not just on our own lives, on our families' lives, but also the environment and the planet, the animals, everything. Not just home, away as well. And this isn't just, I'm not saying this like, oh, this is the first person to say this, but we need to keep saying it because it is true. So if there are companies that are doing things that destroy the planet or making products that are bad for us, then we simply do not buy those products. There's so many other products out there that are good for the planet, that are sustainable. So if we all do it, that will just change the system. Because the people that have the money and the power and the influence, or at least they think they do, it will just go like that. I was seeing there was an advert earlier saying that COVID has increased single-use plastic during COVID. It's gone up massively. And they think that the single-use plastic industry is worth £550 billion. And they expect it to go up, not down, to £750 billion by 2027. Now, if we're at a point in history where if we don't actively all do something massive to stop basically annihilating ourselves through climate change and deforestation, which is the lungs of the planet, with the Amazon, and the use of plastics and the plastics in the water, and then the fish are eating the microplastics, and then the fish are being are coming out abnormal and smaller, and they've got plastic in them, and we're eating that because they've got plastic in their flesh. Like, it's a massive problem. And the thing to me is like, how is there not laws that make it illegal to even make plastic at this point? Because there are biodegradable alternatives. So surely around the world, it should just be, and I'm sorry, plastic making companies, but at this point, you are destroying the planet. So I don't understand why they can't switch out and make these plastic companies, they don't have to just die. They could just switch and make a biodegradable alternative. Why don't they? Doesn't make sense to me. So if they're not going to do that, they're not going to use that amount of money to change their product offering and stop making plastic and start making biodegradable alternatives as a matter of now. Like, it should just be stopped. Not like, oh, we're just going to wheedle it out. Clearly, nobody's wheedling out nothing, because it's going up in the single plastic usage. It's ridiculous. We need to fix this in the next 10 years. Not like, oh, mañana. No, we need to start now. Like, and not just like a little, like, just switch it out. Like, if you've got, I think everyone at this point, in terms of business and that, you need to ask yourself, like, morally, what are you doing? What is your purpose? Like, what is your mission here? Are you, whatever you're doing, is it towards making this place a better place? You know, who's in your supply chain? Are they also on that same view? Is everything that you are doing to make things better for your family, the people? Because at the end of the day, we've all got children. You know, a lot of us have got children, and if we don't do something, there will be nothing here. I mean, it is as simple as that. But I don't think people will take it seriously. And it's all very easy to go, oh, it's somebody else is dealing with it. So sorry, somebody else is dealing with it. Somebody else is dealing with it. But no, it's not. It's on all of us. And particularly if you're influential and you've got a business, then you should be thinking, right, well, you need to be switching these things out and switching them out now. Like, plastic's got to go. It's just got to go. It is saying it's cheaper. It's just not a good enough excuse. Like, what is the reason you're using it still when it's destroying the planet? There isn't a good enough excuse. And there's loads and loads of biodegradable alternatives. But if everyone started to at least just doing that initially, with something, we've got to do something. You can't use these single-use plastics. It's just like we're torturing ourselves, just torturing the planet, knowingly, willingly. Why? What, for money? Are people that greedy that they don't actually give a shit about the planet that they're living in, or the effects that their own businesses will have on their children and their children's children, if they even got that far? I mean, that's the level. So if you're really prioritizing greed above everyone else on the planet, then you're a disgusting human being. You're not human. You know, there's time for things to go that are just not helpful, that are not beneficial to the survival of everyone everywhere. I mean, these are simple things. We can't even get these simple things right. It's ridiculous. And then also, I was just thinking, I'll go. There's a story in here as well about sexual harassment, which in the Financial Times today, it's this rich bod who's gotten off it. Just a side note, suddenly just came to me. I feel really sorry for that girl. She basically got broken down like, oh, your story doesn't make sense. Sounds like a real fucking misogynistic judge. Anyway, sorry, side note. Yeah, UN, NATO, talk to me about what your purpose is. I thought it was to stop or help prevent, things like what's going on in Myanmar. Because there's loads of situations going on and no one's doing anything. Why is that? Why is no one doing anything? I literally can't even fathom it. There's so many good people that are suffering, and it just feels like everyone's sort of sat back watching. That don't sit right with me. Watching, like the balls on that nun. She's got that nun that stood in front of that firing squad in Myanmar. She's got more balls than a lot of the UN. Let's be real. Like, where are you? You know, sending out a statement, oh yeah, we're very concerned. Great. Lovely. Can you do something about it now, please? Like, what is your purpose otherwise? Like, what are you being paid to do? I mean, that's just one. Let's not forget, because, you know what I mean? There's some crazy ass shit going on around the world right about now. And it's just, I can't, it doesn't feel like anyone's doing anything. I could be completely wrong. There's a lot of chat. There's a whole lot of chat. There's a whole lot of one side arguing with the other side whilst simultaneously not getting anything done. It's not right. Not when we can all work together and solve these things. Like the vast majority of us are already in the gang. We know what we're doing. But it's hard to even, you just get, and I shouldn't really watch the news because it upsets me every time, but I do because I'm like, right, well, to see if it gives me any ideas. And I'm going to put a link in to this thing from Sky, which is called Into the Grey, which is really important. And it's basically saying, obviously, essentially, we're all on the front line at the moment. You've got to read. It's pointless me trying to rehash it because it's important that you see it from their mouths, i.e., a general and head of, I think it's GCHQ and various other military bods, basically saying that we're in the grey zone of war, all of us, everywhere. And I don't think that's being taken seriously enough. So I'm going to put it in. You can make up your own mind, but it's worthwhile at least listening to. So yeah. And there's also, they did say that there isn't a solution to how, I'm not sure if I don't think this is a blockchain thing, from my understanding of blockchain, which is minimal. But they're saying, obviously, that this year particularly, there's been a massive influx in cyber attacks and data manipulation. And they were saying that they've got no way of even tracking I've just come up with an idea. OMG. Right, yeah, I'm on it. So they it was basically saying they haven't got a solution for tracking the misinformation and the changes from the hacks and stuff. But I know a guy. Got it. Right, anyway, I'm going to put all those links in. Loving you guys. Think everyone's doing an awesome job. Thank you for sending me all the info, as always. Yeah, so just if we take all of the money out of the bad guys' companies and invest them into smaller companies, you'll actually make more money in the long run, these new companies, because then we'll all be buying their products and not the bad guys' products. You see how this works? So if you've got an investment house or hedge fund or what, I just ask yourself to look at it with moral eyes. Imagine that God's there with you and just reflect upon those that you invest in and their practices. perhaps it's time for a change. So yeah, love you. Love you, love you, love you. And I shall be back on tomorrow. I'll put all the links in that I said. So the long COVID, Sarah's Law, suggestions for domestic violence legislation. The thing, what was it? Oh, Into the Grey. Yeah. Cool. All right. Love you. Smashing it.